Hi all, welcome to the Sunday live chat. I might make it more of a habit because the live chat is an easy format for me. I really like that I have a live interaction with my followers, with you. So maybe I'll do this every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. And I also would like to tweet that this live chat has started. Let's see if I can do that. Yes, I can share it. Very good tweet. Hi guys, so cool you're all there already. We just got started here. Hi Rudolph. Hi John Getty. Let's see. Yes, Guillermo, welcome. And yes, motivation. Luke, how are you? Luke is here too. He recently did an interview with me and published on his channel, so check it out. It was really good. And thanks so much for doing that, Luke. Happy Sunday, all. I would like to start out with some questions actually that people posted and wanted me to discuss with Luke on his interview on Yes for Motivation. But I did not get to those questions because I only checked Twitter after the interview. Actually, some of these questions we have talked about. One of the questions was, what's your impression of Bitcoin Cash after 1 year of existence now? And check the interview because we went in depth about Bitcoin Cash, and it was a great discussion. Another question that was asked here was, what are your thoughts on Byteball and its price? Can it ever go up again? And that's interesting because I haven't talked about Byteball in a while, except for discussing this recent thing in Venezuela, but not specifically too much in depth. And also in the interview with Luke, we didn't talk about it on Yes for Motivation. But Byteball has gone down a lot in value. The peak was $1,100. It's now at $100, so 90% cut. I'm afraid it's really not the end. So this is. I've seen this happen before with NXT. I invested in NXT in 2013 during the bubble of 2013 when Bitcoin peaked out at 1,000. I started to invest in NXT, and the bear market came. It took 2 years, and NXT went down so much. It was unbelievable. So the peak was $100 million during the bubble, and then it dropped to $7 million. So it dropped 93% from its peak. I think that a project like Byteball, and actually, no, I'm making a mistake here. It dropped more than 93%. I'm sure it was 97% or something. So, but many coins dropped more than 95%, like 99%. Many coins dropped during the bear market of 2014 and 2015. And I think the chances are high that we will gonna see the same again in this bear market. Drawdowns have been a lot, and a strong rebound is likely at this point, I think, for all coins. But since drawdowns have been as much as the bear market in 2014, I think they will also end up being as high. And so something like Byteball corrected 90% already, but it can actually go. Especially a project like Byteball has still high inflation. So many new coins come on the market. With Byteball, these coins come on the market are not given to miners or validators, but they are given to certain kind of distributions where the objective is to increase adoption. But of course, this comes at a cost, and the cost is the free coins. So for example, in Venezuela, you have a lot of people validating their identity. They get paid $20 or so in the form of bytes. But many of them sell these bytes, of course, and so that dumps the price lower. That's the first effect of something like this. On average, people are not going to buy more bytes. They're actually going to dump more bytes. So that's the first effect of a free distribution. And especially during a bear market where the trend of the price is down, many people are not willing to hold and will sell these free bytes. And so that's true for all free distributions that Byteball will have, even if these distributions end up being profitable, even if there is like the amount of bytes spent is lower than the value of these new customers, even then the price will firstly go down, because it's only at a later stage when these people, like for example these students in Venezuela, start buying bytes and start holding bytes and start valuing bytes. It's going to be only at a later stage. So when you make an investment, you lose money at first. It's only later that you can make money, and this is the same here in Byteball. So I think this will just make the bear market worse for Byteball, and we'll see just more selling, but that's an opportunity. You have to study whether these coins get real adoption or not, and if that's the case and the price goes down a lot, then that's a great investment. I think this will show again for Byteball, but not just yet. You have to give it one more year, I think, even possibly 2 years, to see this kind of negative sentiment, and then I think Byteball is going to be a great financial investment. But today I think it's one of, for me, it's the only project I'm really following is Byteball. I find it super interesting. It's amazing the development that's going on there. If you don't have cryptocurrency or you don't have bytes and don't have black bytes, I think it's at this price is a very good investment. But of course, I have already a lot of bytes and black bytes, so to buy more, I'm gonna wait it out. But I'm very positive on the project. Finally, the Apple mobile wallet was approved, and so Apple on the iPhone you can also install Byteball now. For the World Cup you can bet on football via the wallet which team will win, and get paid out a lot more than other betting sites. And black bytes just got a great improvement. You can now send black bytes without having to pair up your devices with each other. You can just send black bytes to any email or any person in your Telegram or WeChat or WhatsApp. You just can send to anybody black bytes, totally private, and they don't have to have the Byteball wallet yet, but they can just claim them with the message you send them. So I think that's amazing innovations that we see, and that's what I want to see in a project. And there are many other great projects, but I just don't have the time to follow these projects, but I think Byteball is one of them. And then let me just check the chat first here. Hi all, welcome. This is the Sunday live chat. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more regular, every 2 weeks or every 2 weeks, because I really like the format. It's very easy to see your questions and to talk with you live. Let me check the chat now. Hi all, welcome. Nice to see 44 people. Yeah, so counterparty risk when it comes to exchanges has changed a lot. I don't follow the day-to-day action in the crypto world, so of course there are always exchanges that go broke or where money gets stolen. But overall, counterparty risk has improved a lot. I would never leave crypto on an exchange. There is no need for that. You can store crypto safely yourself, and that's also why I don't invest in many projects. I only have 3 coins: Bitcoin Cash, Byteball, and then some other coin, and that's already too many storage problems for me. So that's why I don't like the strategy of investing in like 1,000 projects or even 10 projects. It's just too much for me because I can't follow it up, I can't store it. It's all way too much work. So I like to focus on just a few, and I think that makes sense. But when it comes to buying during this bear market, I'm fully confident of leaving fiat on certain exchanges like Kraken or a Bitstamp, or you have these big ones. that are very unlikely to go broke or be attacked by governments, and where the fiat gets stolen or blocked. These things happened, but in the past. However, crypto exchanges, I would never leave like crypto. Also, not on the big exchanges. There's no need for that. But fiat, you have to leave there often. To be able to put up buy orders, and that's what I do, and I think you can take these risks these days. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah.
Nice
Thanks,
to meet
Kevin.
you.
So I'm here at the beautiful place here, a little hotel in Nairobi with a beautiful lake, and beautiful trees, very old, big trees. But of course, my sympathies to anyone that has lost BitMEX. I hear that's of course sucks big time, and I advise to take your loss mentally and also in your bookkeeping and move on, because I've seen many people waste a lot of opportunity and energy in trying to chase funds. That's usually your energy and time is better spent in just booking your loss and focusing on opportunities. Okay, so hi all, welcome on the live chat. So hey, Dope Forever is here too. Hi Dope, how are you? Thanks so much for all your videos, and I'm still following you, and it's very interesting. So let's see if you guys have any questions. No, but I have another question here that I'd like to answer. If this laptop recognizes me. So was there any other question? I just want to say something more about investment strategy. There are very many ways to make money in the markets, and so you have to find your way. It's the same as finding partners or dating. There are many strategies, and usually it pays to study someone who's successful, and usually end up studying different people, and you start to develop your own strategies. And that work for you. Is the same in investing, and that's what I've done too. But I think in general, just learning, the best way to learn is to follow those people that you admire, that have a lifestyle that you want, or that making the kind of money that you want, and then study them, how they do it, and copy them, and that's how to become successful. For me, I admire very much, said it many times, with someone like Roger Ver, because it's a combination of making the world a better place, and making lots of money doing so, and I find it just fascinating how he does that. It's something I admire to achieve also. And so it's basically a buy and hold strategy, buy strong, buy extremely, like go all in, and really put all your energy into making it happen. And I really like that strategy. That's what I want to do. And it's a very different strategy from what I was doing several years ago. But I really like it. Do you think BTC is going lower? Yes, I do. It's a probability, about probabilities. Normally this should not happen. It should only correct to 6,000, considering it only went to 20,000. So it went up a lot less than previous bubbles. So it should go down a lot less, but it has gone down as much as in previous bubble. But I think it's because of the general bear market in the world. In the stock markets, we see also a year of correction. So I think due to that, the bear market will be stronger than usual for crypto, and we will see drawdowns similar to the bear market of 2014-15. And so that means for Bitcoin, we will go down not 70% up until today, but 85%. like last bear market, and that means it's 3,000 is the bottom, but only in 1 year. So I really think it's quite likely we have a strong rebound here, because if we can only go to 3,000 in 1 year, we have a lot of time to still spend on yeah, just moving up and down. Huh? I'm sorry, I did not follow the BitMEX scam or disaster. I'm sorry, I can't comment on that. How is Nairobi? Great, guys. For me, it's about just dating here and building family life, and it's unbelievable. The kind of girls I can get here is just much of much higher quality, much younger, much more beautiful, much sweeter, much more submissive. Good girls, you know, and that's what I want, and that's what I can find here much more easily. Even though I'm almost 40, I just stand out a lot more here because I'm white, and yeah, that's just the case. So about inflation in general, I think you have so many people on the internet and YouTube that will waste your time with just predicting that the world is going to shit, and you should flee instead of yeah, it's just playing on fear instead of hope and opportunity. And also when it comes to inflation, many gold bugs predicting higher and higher inflation, but that's actually not true. If you study the markets historically, inflation goes down over time. Inflation was much worse in Europe 50 or 100 years ago than is today. Actually, that's not fully correct. During the gold standard, inflation was lower, but actually you had other problems that made theft just higher, such as taxation and regulation. So overall freedom and our wealth per person goes up, and that's thanks to people becoming wiser, and thanks to, for example, monetary policy becoming better. And so inflation does go down over time, but not in one straight line. Sometimes you have strong moves up and then it goes down again. And so, for example, during the 70s, inflation went up a lot, but then it went down a lot. But average inflation is about 5% in Europe, and here in Kenya it's above 10%. But it's going down over time because yeah, there is just less abuse by politicians of the money system. But still, 5% is a lot. You have to be smart and invest smart to have a higher return than 5%. And many crypto investors don't realize that, but actually that's not easy to accomplish. Hi all, welcome to the live chat. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. Are you safe in Nairobi? Are you safe in Kenya? Well, of course, there is much more risks here of being mugged and robbed. But of course, yeah, you have to use your brains, and for me, that works well. My phone got stolen when I was driving, but yeah, okay, it happens. I think the rebound in the crypto market will be strong because the correction was too strong. So and we have so much time to still go over before we find the final low. It's so far away. It's 1 year away from here that the final low is to be expected. So, and it's 3,000, which is not that far from the 6,000 we are at. So I do think we're gonna get the odds for a strong rebound are stronger than the odds to go straight to 3,000 or the odds to stay around 6,000 for a half year or a year. Okay, so let me see what other questions there are. Well, how far are we from adoption, Guillermo? Good question. I added BC Hash in my business, Bitcoin Cash, but nobody uses it, unfortunately. And of course, that's the case. I mean, this was the problem with Bitcoin also. A merchant adds Bitcoin as a payment. Well, he's gonna get almost no payments and almost no new customers, and is wondering, of course, like, why am I even doing this? So this was already a problem in Bitcoin, and you saw that even when transaction fees were very low, Bitcoin adoption was very slow, and for example, BitPay was in serious trouble already in the bear market of 2013, 2014, when there was no problem in Bitcoin fees, but what you saw was during the bear market that payments, crypto payments, Bitcoin payments to merchants just evaporated. And so a business like BitPay couldn't live from that. So that was already a big problem, and it's still a big problem today. And that's why I think that cryptocurrency in general will have to be much more creative before it will find mass adoption, and will have to subsidize a lot more than what Bitcoin does. The problem with Bitcoin is, why is nobody using Bitcoin as a payment? Even if they believe in Bitcoin, well, they prefer to sit on their Bitcoin and not use it as a payment system, because it's just too much trouble. They lose their Bitcoin, have to buy it back again. Bitcoin goes up, they miss opportunity. So it's only the generous people that really are thinking further ahead than their own self-interest, and or have a lot of ideology going for it, that will do this. And that's something someone like Roger Ver and some other people will really fanatically use crypto, even if it hurts their own pocket. But these are a few people. So that's why I think in this bear market, it's very wise to look for coins that just subsidize certain things from the inflation. Because that's the thing, like cryptocurrency, you can become so rich of it, but only if you own it, and not if you use it. It's the people that use it pay, basically are now paying for the people that own it, and basically transferring value to the people that own it. So what you need to do is you need to basically change that, and so have new coins being used to pay for people that really help make it happen, such as the users, the developers, marketeers, programmers, like all these people. Is a big pro in Bitcoin. They don't get paid by anyone, and that's why you see all these conflicts happen. So it needs to become more of a business, and so the first steps were that a piece of the inflation goes to the development team and the marketing, like Dash was the first to do that, and Zcash does that, and some others. Bismuth, a small coin I invested in, also does that. 10% of the inflation goes to the development team, and they use that to pay for stuff. I think that's very wise, but it needs to go much further than that. And I think Byteball has made great leaps there, and is not only using that to pay for development, but actually really using that to launch inventive programs, such as now they just, the next few days, they have an alliance started with, I don't know what it is, they still have to reveal it. Maybe it's a computer game or it's a sports betting website. Basically all users, that's 1 million users, will get free bytes, and in exchange, Byteball will be integrated in that platform. And these are the kind of things that need to happen. Like, you need to do massive airdrops, or like, you need to really like give a lot of free coins to people to get them involved. These kind of, and many other creative ideas are necessary to get the masses into crypto, because the way, just the simple model of Bitcoin, I don't think is enough. It's possible and it works, but it's very slow. So you will see that others will start growing a lot faster. But something I do want to say about this bull and bear market of crypto is, I think we still need a big shakeout. I think there is so much air in the market, so many projects that raised hundreds of millions of dollars or valued billions of dollars, but basically are just projects in development with no operational software. No, it's not easy to use at all. if it is even usable. And I think that's very bad. I really hope the bear market can shake some of that out. Also, the quality of investors has gone down a lot in the previous bull market. Like, yeah, you have so much bitching and whining on superficial things. Like, for example, in Byteball, people are always complaining about that it's too expensive, 1 gigabyte. And so the lead dev should push exchanges to change a gigabyte into megabyte or kilobyte or just bytes, so that the price per unit is much lower. And only then many people will invest in the coin, because now it's too expensive per coin. So, okay, there is truth to that. That's true. Many investors think like that. But they are stupid investors. Like, it's the same as thinking, oh, I'm looking at the stock market and what I'm going to invest in, and I'm going to invest in shares that are cheap per unit because then I can buy more units. And so that's how I invest. Well, if you invest that way, you're going to lose all your money because you're just stupid. It's stupid to invest that way. It does not matter what the price is per share. It does not matter. You have to look at the value of the company and see if they can go up a lot in value or not. Like, sorry, but you don't need to change, like, you need to take stupidity into account when it comes to using. Like, people, you need to make sure that the way your wallet can be used by idiots. That's the challenge, and that's what you need to do. But in the investment markets, you don't need to change things because you want to attract stupid investors. Like, the project does not profit from stupid investors. That's not. It's the same as having stupid developers or stupid marketeers, or it's just a bad idea. So in many projects, I'm sure many other projects also, like, you have like so many bitching and whining, and a bear market will help in clearing out these people and this kind of thinking. I'm sorry for going on a tangent here. Back to the chat. Welcome all to the live chat. So let's take a look at the questions. Yeah, why do you like Bitcoin Cash over Bitcoin? Have a look at the first video I made about Bitcoin Cash. It's in the 1st of August in 2017, the day Bitcoin Cash was released. I made a video why I think it's a great idea and so important, and it's a very good video, still totally applicable to today. It's not because Bitcoin Cash is so great, actually. It's just because that the Bitcoin core team made wrong decisions, allowing transaction fees to go up, and unpredictable transaction fees, and that's just mismanagement. And also, counterparty risk is very important. You want to be able to store your coins without counterparty risk. When you pay someone, you immediately own it fully yourself. And also this, they were like with this new, building this new network on top. That's not a good idea from that perspective neither. So Bitcoin Cash, or just the Bitcoin model, works. The model is very simple. There is no inflation. There's a low amount of inflation goes to miners to secure the network, but everybody else needs to buy their coins. In beginning, you mine coins, but that's not possible anymore. But you can buy coins, and then sometimes it goes up a lot in value. So many people start to buy it as an investment purpose, and then later some lose money on it. Some make a lot of money on it. But basically, many more people are involved now, and they start using it later as they realize, actually, if I want the value to go up, I need to start using it also. And so this works. It's a slow model, but it works. And but it does not work when you let transaction fees go up to $1 or $10. Then it does not work. So that's what Bitcoin did. So that's why Bitcoin Cash is better, because it does not do that. So Bitcoin Cash, I have very good hopes for, but over time, many other projects will become bigger. But for this bear market, I'm planning to buy just Bitcoin Cash with my fiat, and then later, as the bull market starts again, diversify in some other projects. What do you think of Civic and Self-Key? I'm sorry, like, I have not studied so many projects. I really don't know most projects at all. Cardano, EOS, all these projects I have not studied, so I can't comment on them. Hi guys, welcome to the live chat. I'm planning to do this a little bit more, the Sunday live chat, every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or every month, something like that. Yes, submissive. I mentioned that I like a girl that's submissive, or girls that's submissive. That's very true, and it's a word that you can't use in the politically correct world, but that's how it is. I don't want to dominate my partner or my girls. That would make me unhappy, but I do want her to recognize my lead in the relationship and follow me, you know. And if you wanna lead in the relationship, you can, but I'm not gonna be there for you. It just feels good for me to be the leader, and I've noticed that my most problematic relationships are where the girl basically says "fuck you" and goes her own way, and I'm not. I'm trying to fight that. And trying to make her submit, and that does not work, of course. And so I don't do that. But yeah, I always try to communicate in kind way, and I fail in that sometimes. I have to say sorry a lot, but yeah, I do like girls that are good girls, you know. So let's see what you guys have been writing in the chat. It's so cool that you're all here, 69 people. Thank you so much. I really love doing this. Okay, let's see what interesting questions we have. Yeah, so for me, the biggest question always is like, is the bear market finished? I keep studying that. For example, there was just a video made by a very famous car guy, Salomondrin. I follow him. He has very cool cars. He just made a video where he sells his Hurricane Performante for Bitcoin. And so I'm studying the comments and see what people are saying about Bitcoin. Like, typically, the bear market is over when you see a lot of negative comments about Bitcoin. And that's what I'm looking for. Are the comments negative about Bitcoin, or positive, or neutral? And I would say it's neutral. You have some positive ones saying like, hey, Bitcoin, cool, great, it's gonna go up to 20K again. And you have some negative ones like, Bitcoin is that. That's such a bad investment, it's too risky. And so it's neutral. But that's just another indicator. It's not finished the bear market. Would your opinion on crypto change if we fall another 70%? Yes, my opinion would change, and I would say that then I would start. Well, my buy orders would be triggered, and I would be loading up heavily on on Bitcoin Cash in my case, and I would also think that very likely we've seen the bottom. Hi all, hi James. Maybe something about investment strategy. So I think I find, like, intellectually, for me, there are the most interesting investment strategies I find is you have to take many different chances, because you don't know which project will go up a lot. And of course, after you make an investment, a lot happens. A little bit by dating with girls, like, you need to really approach a lot of girls that you like, because 9 in 10 at least, or even more, will just turn out to be nothing, and you basically lose your time and money that you invested. But you have to do the numbers, because that's how you find great quality. And the same with investments. You have to really make a lot of different small investments, and then some will pick up and become more valuable, and you start being more interested, and you start following, and maybe later, if there's a new opportunity, opportunity, invest more, like with the girl. It goes well, and then later you invest more. But many will just turn out to be busts, and you lose your money, or you sell at a great loss. But then, of course, that's one style of investment, I think. But then you have also the other style where you really are focused on just a few, and you invest a lot in that. It could be only just one, as for example Roger Ver has done. Of course, now he's more and more diversified these days. But still, if you look at his overall portfolio composition, I'm sure it's today 90 or 80% Bitcoin Cash and only 10-20% other projects. But it used to be 99% Bitcoin for him, and he started to diversify, but only lately. But this has been a very successful investment strategy. And the same in the dating market. Most people actually apply that strategy, that they focus on one partner and they invest a lot in that, and it brings them great joy. And only after that falls in the water, they start to focus on something else. And so I think this is a very good investment strategy, and something also for me, it's somewhere in the middle. I have like 3 girls and I have like 3 investments in the crypto markets, and that's how I like it. But I have only 1 car, and that's also how I like it. Many guys like many cars and just 1 girl, and that's not for me. So, yes, looking at the questions. Yes. Dope Forever makes a great comment about adoption here. There was the same problem with mass adoption with credit cards. Research about it. It took decades until an event happened that caused the adoption. Same with PayPal. It didn't make it mainstream till eBay used it as default, and that's very true. I think crypto still is really struggling with adoption. Not as investors. Many investors have started adopting it, but for using it. So this is really still a big challenge, and our job as investors to reward those projects that are succeeding in this. So this is the most important thing, and it requires so much work. I'm not doing the work. I'm not studying all these projects and seeing who is truly getting adopted. So let me know if I'm missing something. If you see a certain coin that really is starting to get a lot of adoption, so amount of transactions on chain, amount of users that's signing up, registering, that's very important. And let me know if you see a certain coin that's doing that. But when it comes to credit cards, what they did was basically Visa, or which one was the one that did that successfully? Probably not Visa, another one. I don't know which one, but start to sending free cards to the American people in their boxes. Of course, people that had money, but they were starting to receive free cards, free credit cards that they could start using in shops. And so they were subsidizing a certain part of the market, in this case consumers. They didn't have to pay for their flashy card, and they also don't have to pay the transaction fees. No, this was all this cost was all taken by the merchants. So it's a chicken and egg problem. How do you break through that? And I'm gonna link one tweet from someone else here underneath after this video, where there's a great article on how to break the chicken and egg problem, and it's absolutely something that crypto projects need to do, and those that will do this successfully will win. Same with PayPal. PayPal broke the chicken and egg problem by subsidizing user. Every new user got $10 free PayPal credit, or was it 20? And also the one that referenced the person also got 10-20. This is something that Byteball applying today with verification system. People get paid $10-20, and the person also linking up the other person also get $10. So that's why in only, what is it now, 1 month time, 2 months time, 10,000 people verified their identity on Byteball. I'm not saying this is it. I don't think so. But this is a very great first thing to see. Huh? Yeah, next slide. Telling something about Verifone post terminals will be accepting cryptos. It's great to see. Thank you so much, Martin King, for your compliments. He likes my videos a lot. Thank you all for all the great comments. I love you so much. Thank you. XRP, Ripple, interesting, but I was never interested myself. Some people are really enthusiastic about it. They do a lot of good work in transforming the banking system, but it's not of interest to me because I'm not interested in the banking system. I'm interested in a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency system, and not in a system where you have counterparties, and also. Yeah, so I'm just not attracted to the system, but they do a great job clearly, and I was wrong about them. In the beginning, I was just rejecting it as it's like a banker coin and it has counterparty risk and there's fraud and all these. It's a company coin and all that. Well, a lot of that is bullshit. If you research deeper, project has many qualities, like most projects. But that doesn't mean it's for everybody. Hey, Sarah. What's the next big trend in investment apart from Bitcoin and I take it cryptocurrency in general? You mean Mo asks this question. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, and that's the great risk for us crypto investors, is that you're focused on this market and then another market steals the day and steals the minds of the mass market. And that's why adoption is so important, because if nobody is succeeding in getting the masses to start using crypto, this team will fade away, and it could take generations before it comes back and somebody does find the key to adoption. The same happened with electrical cars. They were already electrical cars when the invention of the mobile, the car in the 1900s. Thousands of car companies started building cars. Like today, thousands of cryptocurrencies, and some of them built successful working electrical cars, but it was not successful in gaining. I don't know why I didn't study in depth, but for some reason the petrol cars just won the market. There were also gas cars and water cars, and but there were also electrical cars that did a great job. But petrol car won, and it's more than 100 years later that the only electrical car is now coming back and might succeed in mass adoption. So the same is true for cryptocurrency. So we really have to watch that for that. Yes, do you feel foreign women are more submissive in general than first world countries? Of course. It's just that women in the West are more financially independent. They can much more easily find a job that pays the bills. So they don't really need a man for financial support. And so, of course, it makes them more assertive. And that's a good thing. Yeah. So I think actually, yeah, but okay, submissive. I'm not 100% sure about that. Maybe it also has a lot to do with what kind of girls you're looking for. I'm sure, like, I'm sure if I would like start looking in the West for girls with the way I am today, I've grown a lot. I've become a lot more self-confident, know what I want. I don't start fights with girls, but I do let them go if they are not like if the love is not big enough, or if too much, like they are just irritating me too much, and nothing's changing. I do let go, whereas in the past I would start fighting that. With this new kind of attitude, I can find quality ladies in the West also. A lot depends on yourself too, but of course financially, yes, there is a great opportunity. If you go to a poorer country, you will get just yeah, more quality girls because you're richer. The same in the West. If you're richer, it's more easy to get quality girls. Let's see, what else do we have? Martin King asks me, what do you do to keep busy while the market is down? So for me, that's dating mostly. Different girls takes a lot of time. Finding good places to live. It's amazing. I don't do a 9 to 5 job, but my days do fly by. But now I'm dating 3 girls, so that takes a lot of time, and I love that I can do this, and I can focus on this, and yeah, that's really amazing, and that I can pay for everything from just passive investments. That's really great. It's a dream come true. No, I'm not promoting Bitcoin Cash locally. Yeah, not yet. I do hope I might one day, but not yet. No, I just don't get to doing that. But I think this is quite primitive way. It's a little bit like wanting to have see PayPal happen, or credit cards see mass adoption by going door to door and asking people to start using credit cards, or asking people to start using PayPal, or promote to your friends. It works, but it's a slow process. So I really hope that we find much smarter ways to find mass adoption, than having to do this hard legwork. Let's see at the questions. People are dropping off. We're 48 minutes in, so another 10 minutes and we'll have to close it down. Let me go through the chat. Hey, Jan is telling, Jan Urankar is telling that he was discovered my videos but didn't like them because I was too bearish, and then later as he studied the market, he started to like my videos more. Thanks so much for saying that, Jan. I really appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. And I have to say I was wrong at the middle of 2017. I was 2 months or 1 month bearish, and I was wrong because the market was still bullish. So I've been wrong, and people were right to reject my views then, and to ignore my views, and to go their own way. And you should always do that, because sometimes I am wrong. Yes, Martin King, I will be in London at the end of this month for 2-3 days. I will tweet it then, and you can always contact me on Telegram at Mark de Mezel to start a personal relationship. Let's check what other questions we have. Steven says, your work is extremely appreciated. Thank you so much, Steven. Yes, the Belgians have done very well in the World Cup. I don't follow football. I don't follow sports. I think it's very wise to ignore a lot in life and only focus on the things that you really enjoy. And for me, sport is not one of them. But the football craze has finally taken me also, as the Belgian has done well, and it's my country of origin. I don't enjoy living there anymore, but it's nice to see they're doing well, and they beat the Brazilians. I saw that much, and it was interesting to see how the best team can still lose, and you always need some luck in life. It's the same with investing. Many people are saying that that early adopters are lucky. For example, early adopters of Bitcoin are lucky. There's of course a part of luck in that. That's true, but they are not lucky in the sense that there is always also art and craft to it, and a lot of how you stand mentally in a game. And when it comes to investing, I think early adoption is extremely difficult, and there is no luck involved at all in making an investment. It requires a lot of courage as in the early phases to invest in something when nobody else believes it, and even those that believe in it are saying don't risk too much and be careful and don't risk what you cannot afford to lose, and because that's usually how it is in the early phase of something. Risk is extremely high, so investing is very difficult. Investing a lot is extremely difficult, so you need to build up a lot of knowledge before you are willing to take on such risks. And even when you take then those risks, there are so many variables that can make it go wrong and you still lose your investment. So the lucky part is in that, will it work out or not? That depends a lot on what happens later on after you made the investment. So many every day new things happen and change, and a lot depends on the management and on world markets. You know, other markets influence this market, and so. But as an investor, you just have to go day by day, and you always have to study new information, try to be objective, see the negatives. That's true for your investments in coins, true for your investments in girls or partners. Always even when it was great in the past, things can change with me too. I can become an asshole towards my partner, and well, then I'm not so good anymore as before. So it's not wise to hang on to me. Then you have to let go of me. But in the other direction too, if your partner starts to become a bitch to you, well, things are changing, and you should just see it for what it is and let go. If an investment starts to turn sour because of poor management decisions or just market failure, because just the market is not ready. It's possible it may be great, genius, but if the market is not picking it up, so you have to let go and focus on something new. And the art is to do these things faster and faster. Like really, that's the art. For me with girls too. I'm becoming better and better in letting go faster and faster. And that really saves so much time and helps you in finding much better fits. Vitaly says that he loves my lifestyle, and he asks if I have any advice how to start and live in similar way. And yes, my advice would say go your own way, even when your family, friends, lovers don't support you. Some are fortunate to be born in a loving family that's supportive, even when you do controversial stuff, but most are not born in such an environment and have to really fight and struggle and be rejected many times and a lot before they become successful. So you really have to have that courage to do that, just try to learn from your mistakes and not put your head in the sand and justify why you did that, but no, try to figure out why you did that and how you can avoid that in the future. It comes to relationships, when you treat someone poorly, you lose someone, you feel really bad about it. Just try to learn from it, and then you can really start feeling better and be stronger the next time. It's the same when investment goes sour. Let's see the chat here. My sound is soft. Oh my god. I hope it's okay. We're gonna close it down soon in 5 minutes. So shoot your question if you have one. Thanks so much all for joining. Oh, I'm sorry. I was covering my mic. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Thanks for saying that, guys. I never met Roger Ver. I hope I do one day. Hey, Dope Forever. Yes, I will certainly let you know if I go to Southeast Asia. I never really went there. I just a week or so Thailand, but yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be staying here quite a while. But I might come for short trips. So I would love to meet you someday, and that would be really cool to do a YouTube together. No, I'm not dumping all my investments into crypto yet. No, not at all. I stay away. I don't invest anything in crypto. But I will in 1 year time. Or if the market corrects a lot, then I will. Um, so someone is asking me, don't you think the Lightning Network will change the game and bring put Bitcoin back on the map? And I don't think so. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't like say, hey, wait till we're ready, and then you can come. And that's just not how a market is won. There's too much competition. So today, Bitcoin Cash is stealing the market of Bitcoin every day. Every day, the amount of transactions on Bitcoin Cash goes up versus Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is losing, even though they are building the Lightning Network and launching it. They are losing. Will that change in the future? I don't think so. The risk here is not Bitcoin. That's a lost game. Bitcoin is just has poor management. Poor management is not going to start to become great management in 1 day or in 1 year. That doesn't happen. A poor partner will not become a great partner. No, that does not happen. Yeah, it does not happen. The management of Bitcoin has made such terrible decisions and are still in charge. So as long as these people are in charge, there's no hope for Bitcoin. And that's Adam Back and some other people, Jeff Karzik. I don't know all the names there, but it's only 3 people that really decide what's being implemented in Bitcoin, and Adam Back is the leader. Is age difference a problem in Africa? No, at least not for me. My girls are 20 years old or 19, 18. So that's amazing, huh? And I feel so fortunate. I find girls the most beautiful at that age. So I'm very happy I can get such girls. But I think a lot has to do with, I'm in Africa here. Like in Belgium, this was much more difficult. When I approach girls that are like that age, they don't dare to. They find that the age difference is too big. It happens, but it's rare. So yes, there are many countries where age is not so important at all. I hear the Philippines also is not so important. So you can easily find a girl that's 20 years old when you're 40. So of course, yeah, certain regions are much more accepting of that than others. But even here, people make comments also. You know, I don't give a damn. Really, I don't care. I don't care. People watch me. and because it's what I want. So that's how it is. Yes, Jamal, I'm still in Nairobi. So I'm originally from Belgium. Something else like, so how can you get this kind of lifestyle I've developed? Like a lot of it's going your own way, but also like it took me many years of just being behind my computer or trying several things and failing. And just also my mental health. I've smoked a lot of weed in my 20s because I needed it to feel happy, but it also affected, of course, my performance. And drugs did it helped me in feeling happier in the short term, but in the long term, as drugs and alcohol does, it doesn't help you that well. It was only when I really start to look inwards and start to face my mental health and started therapy. I did a lot of therapy that I become healthier in my head and was able to start stop smoking a lot of weed and become more productive. And it's only when I turned 30 then I started to become depressed because I was very disappointed in what I had achieved in life. I had no girlfriend, I had no business. I was still living at I went back living at home. So I just for the first time in my life I felt depressed, and so that's why I really started to face my problems, and a lot of it was mentally. I was not really, even though I thought I didn't see that, but actually I believed that I was a loser. I was not aware of that. I thought, but it showed in I was always giving up on projects, stopping, and starting something new, and that was because I didn't have enough self-confidence, and I didn't have enough self-confidence because, well, my father always thought I was a loser, and so I believed him, and I never fought that. And that's when I started fighting that, and I very quickly broke up with my father because he was not willing to change. Um, but that's sad. But that's sometimes what has to happen. If you cannot build yourself if people are pulling you down. If you're surrounded by people that don't believe in you, you cannot become successful. So you really have to let go, even when you love these people a lot for certain things. Um, uh, yeah, it's difficult, but it's necessary. When it comes to taxation, every country is different. But there are many countries that don't have capital gains taxes, and so that's very important. Um, but do your research, and also about taxes, very bad. So you have to be willing to move to countries where they don't have that. But then there's also like, yeah, if you apply the buy and hold investment strategy, well, then you actually end up never selling large chunks, and so you also avoid this capital gains tax even if you have one. But still, it's a big problem. So I would just recommend to do your research and be willing to move. This is something that's important as a preparation, because usually people discover that at the peak of the bubble, things go up a lot. Oh, I want to sell, but oh damn, I don't want to pay those taxes. What do I need to do now? Well, you're too late because you're not prepared. So it's too late to move to another country. um, uh, so what you need to do is you need to just learn a lesson that that you don't want to experience that in the future. So um, um, you're just gonna, like, for the next bull market, before the next bull market is there, you move, and you make sure that next time you don't have to give a big piece of what you earned to someone who didn't do anything for it. We are in 1 hour and 5 minutes, 64 people. Hi, all, welcome. we're about to close the live chat. But when it comes to becoming successful, I do think that there is nobody has quick success. It always takes many years of learning and trying and failing before you become successful. So that's the best advice I can give. Do that, and it will come if you live long enough. I'm going through the last chat messages. Harvey says, thanks for always being so open, Mark. Thank you so much, Harvey. Seeing if I can see some more interesting questions. Oh, fuck. I'm always keeping my eye on the microphone, it seems. Yeah, smash those likes, guys. And if you, I would really appreciate you share this video on your Twitter and Facebook. I would really appreciate that. Or some other videos that you like from me. Like, for example, on my Twitter, I pinned the highest tweet is why 2018 will be a bad year for crypto. If you can share that video, I would really appreciate it. It's still very applicable. And check my Instagram. I have great pictures of my girls, of my dates, and videos also, if you like that. Okay, the live chat is closed. So, that was it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you all a great Sunday. Thanks so much for all your great questions. And a last look from, I'm here at a small pond, a small hotel. Great deal, $65 or $70 a night, breakfast included, very close to Nairobi. Amazing, huh? Bye bye, guys.